Okay, everybody. So welcome again from me here in Costa Rica. And I always like to start by saying thank you so much for really continuing to show up, to support Janine and I on our mission and our vision to really help people to find their true human divinity and to empower people to be the best version of themselves, right? So we're always tapping into what is the ancient wisdom that sits deep within our DNA, and how do we bring that to the surface? How do we find our power? How do we switch on this light of infinite possibilities and infinite potential? And so thank you so much for being here, for joining us, for supporting us. And yeah, just again, I'm going to share that today is for you to receive the gift of healing for yourself and not to worry about anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think anything, but just gift yourself the next 45 minutes to allow yourself to receive healing on all levels of your being, from your head all the way down to your toe, and your mind, body, and your soul. And whatever it is that you need to release can be released, and whatever it is that you need to call in can be called in. So yeah, so just to sort of prep yourself to be ready to receive, okay? And then get yourself comfortable, whatever you need to do, okay? And just quickly again, just a reminder for those that don't know, we the medicine have been on this journey now for 6 or 7 years, but it's been my mission and my vision for around 15 years to bring these tools to the world. And I'm a practitioner of multiple modalities, teaching people all across the world. We're doing retreats here in Costa Rica. And now we're just set up as a non-profit to really help drive this mission and this vision. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're joining us again, welcome back. Just going to let a couple more people in the room. Traditionally late, but it's fine. It's all good. All right. So if we just start by closing our eyes, and always beginning these sessions by paying attention to slowing down our breath, okay? And understanding that when we simply allow ourselves to slow down our breath and to become aware of the breath and to become aware of the gentle rise and fall of our lower diaphragm, our lower dantian, we really start to notice what we notice, and it's really sending a signal to the brain that we feel safe, okay? We feel in a safe space to be able to relax and to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which lowers cortisol in the brain. We're switching off fight or flight, activating the vagal nerve, and really just sending a message to the universe that it's okay. I feel safe. I can breathe slow. There's no thing that I need to fear. I'm completely safe in this space. So slowing down the breath is always the first thing that we do after closing our eyes, and really just allowing ourselves to soften. All right. So just scanning the body now from your head to your toe and really noticing if there's any tension, if there's any tightness, any muscles or any stiffness, and really just bringing our awareness there as we slow our breath down, bringing our attention to that area of the body. As we continue to slow the breath down, we start to really notice the gentle, subtle shifts of energy and vibration within the body. And if you're noticing that there's some internal dialogue, and you can really notice the mind, and it starts, you start to um, internalize what's going on. That's okay. We're not going to fight it. We're not trying to calm the mind. We're not trying to silence the mind. We're just simply allowing ourselves to to gently unwind. Okay. So if the mind comes into play, just allow it to pass and just bring the attention back to the breath. But once again, remembering that we're never trying to do anything here. We're just simply allowing ourselves to receive. What do we need to receive today? Okay. So now we've we've kind of like slowed down our system. We've landed in the space together. I'd just like to share that even though you're going to be receiving this healing today, receiving whatever it is that you need, that collectively we're creating this container of conscious awareness. And when we allow our minds, our brain and our heart to become coherent through gratitude, which we will feel later in the session, we're actually going to be creating this like portal of really high vibrational energy, and that's going to be lifting our own vibrations, but also raising the consciousness of the planet as we do this as a group, as a container. Okay. So once again, just bringing your attention back to your breath, slowing down your breath. Now, what I'd like you to do now is we're going to be taking care of our inner landscape today, right? So I want you to understand that it's very important to do this. Otherwise, we're going to allow our garden to overgrow. There's going to be weeds, there's going to be bushes. So let's imagine that we are going to be taking care of our inner garden. And I want you to use the metaphor of the weeds and the bushes as, let's say, life's situations that may cause unwanted emotions or feelings. So if there's any anxiety, if there's any fears, anything you're feeling guilty of, or any identities of victimhood or whatever it is that you may feel that you're carrying, I just want you to tune into that with the intention of releasing it and letting it go, right? Don't worry if it feels a little uncomfortable to get started, but it's okay. We're just going to allow ourselves to have the courage just to open the heart and tune into, what are these unwanted feelings that we have? What is this fear? What is this anxiety? Where is that? Where is that situated? What is it that's come up for me recently that doesn't feel good? Is there any relationship stuff going on? Any self-doubts? Any childhood stuff coming through? Any abandonment? Any guilt? Any shame? Just allow yourself to feel that. Where do you feel that in the body? Do you feel it in the throat, where we're going to be feeling abandonment or self-doubt or lack of worth? Is there any feelings in the heart? Is there any sadness sitting there? Is there solar plexus feelings coming up where we're going to be feeling anger? Maybe we're angry with what's going on in the world. Or is there feelings of fear, which we're going to feel in our lower diaphragm, right? Where do we feel these feelings? And just allowing ourselves to understand what is that feeling and what is the intensity of that. Okay. And it's very important that we do this because from my training in the neuroscience techniques, when we allow ourselves to activate the circuit in the brain, and then we go on this visual journey, which we're going to do, it really acts as a way of releasing it and clearing it, because the divine healing intelligence of our systems knows what's needed, right? But in order to release it, we have to feel it first. So it's kind of like we're showing the courage to feel it, and the reward is that we're going to release it, right? So we're going to let go of quite a lot today. And the more that we feel, the more that we're going to let go of, right? So once you've felt that, that's okay. You now just open your eyes, all right? And then I want you just to rub your hands together and create some electricity between the hands, all right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to apply some compassionate touch again, because we started off slow, we calmed the nervous system, and then we kind of felt these feelings again, which don't feel so nice. And now we're going to release them, right? So we're going to now calm the nervous system once again. So if you take your hands and start to rub them down your face and just down the outside of the arms and on the hands, what you're doing is you're bringing compassionate touch to what's known as the psychosensory receptors under the skin. So we've got these receptors, right? And when we rub them in this kind of motion and this fashion, what we're doing is we're flooding the brain with these deep sleep delta frequencies. This is known as the havening touch, or we can call it the compassionate touch, whatever feels good to you. And just rubbing your face, rubbing your arms and your hands. And if it doesn't feel comfortable to do that, for whatever reason, you can actually just simply sit with your hands by your side and you can just imagine that you're doing that. Because whether you're actually touching your skin or you're imagining that you're doing it, the brain doesn't know what's real and what's not, but it will still produce these chemicals, these frequencies that go to the brain and flood the brain, right? So what we're doing when we do this is we're flooding the brain with these what's known as deep sleep delta frequencies. And when you flood the brain with these deep sleep delta frequencies, what happens is your brain actually believes that you're asleep right now, because we only normally get these frequencies, the deep sleep delta, between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. And when we actually feeling those deep sleep delta frequencies, that's when the body's going into deep rest, and we are, really activating the parasympathetic nervous system, slowing down our whole movement. We are lowering cortisol in the brain, and we're switching off fight or flight, right? So the body thinks we're asleep. So what happens is we start to get deep rest even when we're awake, and we can kind of like hack that. We can hack that like as a biohack and activate these frequencies within 30 seconds of doing this havening or the compassionate touch, whatever you want to call it, right? So alongside the touch, we're just slowing down our breath. And notice now already within 2 or 3 minutes how the body starts to become calm, the mind starts to become, we start to feel more relaxed, more safe, more peaceful. Okay. So we're just going to continue to do this for a few minutes. Just allow ourselves to pay attention with our minds. So what I'm going to be asking you today is for you to just give me your undivided attention, to focus on my words, because my words are codes that are going to create frequencies within you that will enable you to release and to let go. So I'm going to be taking you on a really beautiful visual journey. And I want you to understand the power of your imagination, and really to invite you to really tap into that inner child, that creative genius within you that maybe you haven't been playing with so much recently because maybe life's getting in the way. But just going back to being this really creative child with this unlimited imagination, right? And understanding that it's our imagination that holds the key to all of our healing. And in our imagination, we can create belief and choice and trust and faith. So really just paying attention to my voice, to my words, Noticing what you notice as you start to feel the body starting to unwind, to relax, to feel safe, to feel peaceful, to feel calm. And if you need to make any sound, you can take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Very good. Very good. And if you want to lay down, you can lay down and receive. If you want to keep sitting there where you are, just make sure that you're nice and comfortable as we go on this beautiful journey together. And if you want to continue rubbing your face and your arms and your hands, you can. You can go to deeper levels of the mind into the subconscious. And if you'd like to put your hands on your heart, you can also do that as well, or put your hands down by your side. And the most important thing now is that you really just start to pay attention to my words. Okay. And now what I'd like you to do is really just use your imagination to picture yourself and see yourself right now standing on a beautiful field with some lovely mountains and green and yellow grass. And just start noticing that there's lots of flowers around and different colors. And you can see some birds and butterflies flying around. And I really would like you now to use your imagination to be there right now. So tap into all your senses. What does the smell of the grass smell like? It's just been cut and it's fresh. And you know that smell when you was playing as a child. And really allow yourself to just absorb that. Noticing the colors, noticing the color of the sky is nice and blue. And there's some clouds around, and you can actually see some horses in the background, and notice the trees. And I want you to see yourself bare feet standing on the ground. And really just notice how peaceful that scene is within your imagination. But I want you to transport yourself there right now. Very good. And again, bringing your attention to all the colors, the smells. Maybe there's a flower you can smell. Listening to the sound of the bumblebees and the birds. Feeling the warmth of the sun. It's not too hot, but it's nice and warm, and you can feel that warmth on your face. And as you do that, just imagine your heart is smiling because this is your happy place. As you pay attention to your breath and you notice the colors, make the colors more vivid, make them more bright, and slow your breathing down. Listening to the sound of the birds and the bumblebees, noticing the clouds in the sky, and looking down and seeing your bare feet on the ground. I'm going to invite you now to take 20 steps along the grass, walking through these fields. And with each step you're going to take, I want you to allow your subconscious mind to take you twice as deep, twice as relaxed, twice as calm. 20, 19, noticing the smile on your face. 18, 17, noticing the blue of the sky. 16, taking a nice deep breath in. 15, exhaling to go twice as deep, twice as relaxed. 14, 13, feeling the warmth of the sun. 12, feeling so calm, so peaceful. 11, listening to the sound of the birds and the bees. 10, 9, making all the colors more vivid, more bright. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, taking a nice deep breath in. 3, just exhaling right now. 2, noticing what you notice. And 1, seeing a nice area on the grass where you lay down your towel and you lay on your back, looking up at the clouds and the sky. And pay attention to the color of the blue and the clouds. And notice to the right-hand side that there's a beautiful rainbow that's appearing. And just watch now as the rainbow is actually starting to move across the sky until it's like directly above your head. And as you're looking up and you notice the colors, just notice what you notice. As you start to pay attention, take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, just go twice as deep, twice as relaxed. Very good. And you know there's nowhere else that you need to be. You can just be here now. Noticing what you notice, paying attention, and really feeling this feeling of being safe, peaceful, and calm. And I want you to pay attention to the colors of the rainbow, and I want you to make them more vivid and more bright. And as you do that, notice the rainbow is actually getting bigger and bigger as it becomes nearer and gets closer to you. And now as you're looking up, you've just got this huge, big, gigantic, colorful rainbow right in front of you. Paying attention to the red and making the red more vivid. And into the color blue, making it more illuminated and bright. And into the purple. And to the green. The orange, making the orange more vivid, more bright, really just giving it your attention and noticing what you notice as you pay attention to the color. And now to the yellow. And as you pay attention to the yellow, I want you to notice something happening is that there's a light coming from the yellow directly down into the crown of your head as you lay on the grass. And this light now is pouring in through the crown, down through the face, through the neck, down the shoulders, down the arms, all the way down the spine, down your legs, to your knees, to your feet, to your toes. And every time you breathe in, I want you to illuminate this light and make it more vivid and more bright. Because in this light is information. And whatever information is there is what you need right now to heal the cells, heal the tissues, heal the muscles, heal any tension. And we just take a moment to understand that in each one of our 50 trillion cells, we have photons. And the job of the photons is to send and receive information via light. And once we understand this and we pay attention, these cells start to switch on and they become mini antennas. And every time we breathe in, we receive more light, and we just pay attention to the light pouring in from this rainbow through the crown, into the third eye, in the pineal gland, down the spine, down the shoulders. And we start to feel this buzz, this vibration. As the heart and the mind become coherent, the light becomes brighter, and we start to bring our attention to our heart. Bringing our attention to the heart, we notice the heart is becoming stronger, more powerful. Noticing the beats and really feeling this like inner power that's always there within us. Keeping our attention on the heart now, as we now bring the whole scene of the rainbow, the fields, the sky, the grass, to the center of our hearts. So now we're actually noticing what we notice as this whole vision is now playing out within our hearts. And every time we breathe in, we make the light twice as vivid. And when we exhale, we go twice as deep, twice as relaxed. Taking slow, deep breaths in through the nose and exhaling to become more calm, more deep, more relaxed. And just noticing now our bodies, our minds, our souls just illuminated with this light, this healing light. And with the next breath, we're going to breathe in even deeper, even slower, a little bit longer. And we're going to collect everything that we need to release, any energy on the in-breath. So breathing in now, asking our divine healing intelligence what needs to be released. Breathing in, collecting everything we need to collect. And on the out-breath through the mouth, we just let it go. Very good. Now bringing our attention to the heart and just really seeing this light come pouring in from everywhere. From the rainbow, from the stars, from the moon, from the rocks, from the trees, just absorbing, because that's what we choose. We're choosing to receive healing from the universe, from nature. And we're paying attention to that light. We're seeing it coming in through the crown, moving around the body and coming to the center of the heart. And now just imagining that there's so much light pouring in. The heart is becoming so full of this light and it's bursting. And as it becomes so full, I want you to imagine that there's these tiny little sparkles pouring out of the heart, these sparkles of light, and that they're traveling all around the body to the cells, the tissues, the organs, the bones, the fascia, all the way down to the little toe and up to the top of the head. These tiny little sparkles of healing light. And as you do that, I would like you to invite yourself to notice the heart beginning to smile. It's beginning to smile because she knows that there's healing being received in all parts of the body. And as she begins to smile, notice the feelings of joy, of gratitude, of love, of appreciation. And give yourself permission to amplify those feelings right now. How does that feel? How does that feel to feel deep gratitude in every cell, every tissue, all the way down to the quantum field? Noticing the heart smiling because along with the light that's coming in from nature, from the universe, from the field, we're actually tapping into this, the light of our ancestral wisdom and our spirit. And when we bring attention to that, it becomes alive, it becomes ignited. And it's always there, coming from our parents and their parents, and going all the way back 500 years, 1,000 years, 5,000 years. And this ancestral wisdom, this spirit, this light, this power goes all the way back 200,000 years. And we feel that on all levels of our being because that's what we choose. And it's there, the inner light. And just like you now, just to take 2 or 3 minutes to imagine this light pouring in from all of our ancestral lineage. Taking a slow, deep breath in through the nose and expanding that feeling, really expanding it. That feeling of love and joy and gratitude and appreciation for all that's ever been before us. And really feeling that power. Knowing that when we feel that, that's rippling out to our sons, our daughters, our brothers and sisters. Really just tuning into that. And if you want, you can place your hand on your heart right now, just to really tap into that and tune into it. This power that sits there that sometimes we neglect. We keep ourselves small. We stay in our lane. But what if you could just really unfold this and expand it and really step into your full power? What if we could take this feeling with us? So just choosing to amplify that and see it like leaving the body as a wave of energy, a vibration that's happening right now. And it's a never ending wave. It just goes off into the eternal web of life, and it changes the field. And remember, the universe is only ever going to match what is our field. What do we truly believe we deserve? And this is all just a practice, a reminder to help you remember your true human divinity and who you are, this being of unlimited potential and possibilities. And that the only limitations we have are the ones we have in our own mind. And it's okay if you know, we're conditioned to not practice this and not remember that. And that's okay. We're all in this together. And now it's time to wake up, to remember our power from breath to breath, moment to moment. It's just a remembering. Everything starts right now. Everything that's ever been before no longer exists. And this is the power of death and rebirth, dismembering the self, the constructs, the limiting belief, and remembering our true human divinity to serve, to connect, to empower. Again, taking a really slow, deep breath, a new breath into our hearts. Expanding everything, expanding the cells, the tissues, the love, the grace, the ease, the gratitude, and just exhaling to really cement that deep into our cells, into the quantum field of the cells, to really change how we feel, how we act. Now, with this energy, this light, this love, giving you permission now to really send this out. Who needs this? Who around you in your field really needs this? Friends, family. Imagine that you're like firing it out from the heart, just like an arrow filled with love and healing. Where does that need to go? In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I get to 5, you're going to very, very slowly start to come back to this space, back to earth. And there's going to be changes. You're going to remember who you are. A divine being of unconditional love and of unlimited possibilities and potential. you will start to practice and remember who you are with each breath, with each sacred breath. And we have patience and grace and ease as we just understand that we are the awareness in all of this, and we get to choose where we bring that awareness to. And when we remember to focus our awareness on our hearts, we come back to the very moment. And in the moment of now, there is no past, there is no future, which means there's no abandonment, there's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no fear, there's just love. 1, 2, 3, maybe gently starting to wiggle your toes with your hands. 4 and 5. Okay, everyone. All right. So thank you all so much for being here today. I really felt a nice shift, an energetical shift. How are you all feeling? Is anybody awake? Are you all still asleep? How is it going? Would anyone like to share anything about their experience? Would anyone like to share? Yes. Jay Soul, let me unmute you. I think you have to click unmute. There you go.
Hey David, yeah, I'm feeling like a sensation of peaceful, calm relaxation and also rejuvenation and like new possibilities and ways of like being able to engage what used to come up and yeah, like a feeling of aliveness as well, like a calm peacefulness and also an aliveness. I'm very, very grateful for your guidance and holding
Yeah.
this space.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for reaching out. Um, yeah, we connected through
Battery
our
70%.
we connected through our friend Suri, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah, we connected through Suri, right?
can't hear you right now, but
Oh, you can't hear me, right? 1 second, let me see what's going on. 1, 2, 3. Can you not hear me? No.
okay, now I can hear you
All right. Okay.
slightly.
All right. Let me see what's going on here. 1 second. Actually, let me just end the video. Recording. Stop the recording.